What's up, suckers? It's me. I'm back. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I've done these before. I generally don't tend to do too many of them because they can't be turned into podcast episodes. But I feel like this might be very helpful for some of you out there. If this is your kind of thing, please make sure that you like and subscribe. It is the for real though. I would really love to keep seeing you guys back. I would love your friends to find me. It's extremely helpful. So, if you have been following me for any amount of time, or even if you're new here, just to let you guys know, I am very, very big on planning according to how your energy is. If you are a person who has pretty regular energy, your energy does not ebb and flow, you don't tend to feel tired, you don't tend to feel exhausted very often, then that is totally and completely fine. But for a lot of us, our energy tends to change a lot. Some days our focus and energy is incredible, sometimes it's not. And we don't always take that into account before we decide to do things, and we wind up planning out something that maybe we just don't have the bandwidth for, and that can lead to us being dissatisfied, feeling we didn't do enough, pushing way past the limits like that we have kind of intrinsically set for ourselves. So what I wanted to show you is I wanted to show you two different ways in ClickUp that you can keep track of your energy as you are planning your day so that you can make sure that you are getting the most out of it and using your energy the best you possibly can. Now, obviously there are going to be things that are going to play into it other than just planning according to your energy, right? You also do have to take into account your time that you have, things that you have to do that are major obligations, and obviously, you would want to keep those in mind when you're putting this together as well, but this is just to help you with those tasks that maybe come up on a day where you don't have a ton to do or where you don't have a lot of obligations. It's just a great way to help you figure out exactly what it is that you should be focusing on and in what order, and also kind of making sure that you are not overspending that energy both physically and mentally. So I'm going to show you how to make this one from scratch. And if you can already figure that out, then fast forward or, check out the chapters and go to the second option, and I'll show you how to make that one. So to make this energy tracker here in ClickUp, what you're going to do is you're going to go to new space. You're going to call it, I am going to go ahead and just call it Energy Tracker 2 for right now. And for this template, you pick your color. I'm just going to pick a pizza because why not? For your statuses, what you want to do is you want to have one to do, one complete, and then you want to have one, the one that I chose is deferred, but you can also say tomorrow, something like that. This is going to be the status that you are going to choose for the stuff that you just aren't going to get to today. Then, of course, you want your priority, you want your tags or custom fields, and the rest of that can be left alone. You don't need any special views. And here is that space. And before we get started, first off, unless you're sharing this with someone, you don't need an assignee. So go ahead and press hide column. You're going to go to your plus sign here where it says add a column. And you are going to choose the rating option. And you can choose any emoji you want. I usually would suggest keeping in mind mental and physical energy. If you want to just go with physical energy, that's completely up to you. But you want to say something like mental energy required. And we'll just leave it at a star for this video. I have it in my other one as a battery, but it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to make another rating. And that one is going to be mental energy available. And you want to try to keep those emojis the same. And then you're going to do this twice more for physical energy. Okay. And you can have due date, priority, priority is actually extremely important. You want to make sure you have that as well. And then I also included, just for those days where it's really hard, a text area for a reward. So I can give myself a reward when I finish these things. And now let's go ahead and put in some tasks. So I don't know, you guys know I hate the dishes, so let's do dishes. Now, generally, you're not going to touch these first. You're going to go ahead and touch this first. And what you want to ask yourself is, how much energy do I have today? And as far as mental energy, I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm going to say that I'm at a 4 out of 5 today. My physical energy required, I have the physical strength of a hamster recovering from the flu. So it's never really going to be at a 5. But I'm going to say, okay, I'm feeling pretty good today. Let's say that I'm at a 4. Now, we're going to look at each thing and we're going to decide how much energy is required for each thing. So, doing dishes requires no mental energy. It's going to take, 2 out of 5. Bathing the dog doesn't take a lot of mental energy, but she is part Belgian Malinois, and so there's a lot of wrestling. So maybe she's going to be at a 4. I'm going to read for an hour. That takes a good amount of mental energy. So say that that's a 4, but it takes no physical energy. And then studying herbalism is going to take the same. And you just keep going down like that. And then basically what you want to do is you kind of want to look at where you're at in reference to the physical energy you actually have available. So if you notice I'm at 4 arms, right? I'm doing great. So it's probably not great for me to go straight to bathing the dog unless I want to worry about using up all my physical energy and then having no energy left to do dishes, which might be fine for me, right? Maybe the fact that I have nothing but very low physical energy stuff left over here means that I can very well just go straight to doing this and then just take care of the stuff that my brain can handle after that. This comes in especially handy after you have done one of these things or 2 of these things and you're like, oh man, I'm starting to feel tired. You can update that mental energy to say, okay, now I'm down to like a 2 and my physical energy is at a 1. You might want to make sure they're always, required, available. But anyway, maybe I'm down at a 1 now in terms of physical energy. I don't have the energy to do anything else. So this stuff that I have here that is going to take more than 1, it just ain't happening today. So in those situations, that's where you have your deferred status. You just go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Now, why do I have due date and priority here? Why is that important? Because say that, I have plenty of energy and I have plenty of, so I did it backwards again, guys. Make sure that you don't make the mistake that I made. In fact, I'm going to move this over. So now required, all right. So let's say that I have just plenty of energy, plenty of mental energy, and, everything here is going to take under that. So I can't figure out what to do. I'm like, actually, I have the energy for all of this. I don't know what to do first. That's where you're going to do your priorities. How badly do I need to bathe the dog? Is it that important that I read for an hour? How important is it for me to study herbalism? When are my videos due? And that's also when your due dates can come into play. So, I have to edit those videos and maybe I have a test coming up. And so this is pretty urgent. And reading is not that important. Bathing the dog, not that important. So now I know what I have to do next. If I have 2 very urgents, I can always go ahead and kind of sort by priority. And then I can say, okay, well, I'm going to start with these 2 that I know right off the bat. Same with due date. If you kind of find that everything feels like it's the same priority, generally most things are not the same priority, and that's coming from us kind of freaking out. But you can go ahead and figure out due dates, and that will also kind of help you figure out what to work on next. So it's kind of like a plan C, your plan A, your plan B, your plan C. And then if you're really just kind of finding that you're struggling to get started, that you're like, okay, I know what I need to do, but I need something to make this worth it, that's when you can just type in a reward here. And that reward is kind of a reminder of what it is that you need to do next. Okay, so that's one way to do this. Now, another way to do this involves more numbers, but it can give you, in some ways, a more specific idea of exactly how much energy you have and what you may need to cut back on. So let's go ahead and make another space. This one we're just going to call Energy Tracker 3. We're going to, I don't know, give it a weird, this just looks like a dirty symbol and I'm 12 years old mentally, so we're going to go with that. You want to make sure that you have that deferred status so that you have somewhere to put that stuff that you cannot do today. You're going to leave everything here as is, leave everything here as is, create your space. Now, this is going to start out a little similar, but also be a little different. So we're going to leave due date and priority there. We've removed the assignee because we don't need it unless you've got other people involved. And what you're going to do is you're going to come down here to the number spot, and you are going to say energy available. And then you are going to go and make another number one, and that one's going to be energy. What in the hell was I spelling? Energy required. And then let's go ahead and put in our tasks. Can't remember what my last one was now, so wash car, I guess. Okay, so we have filled out our tasks, and now what we're going to do is we are going to figure out if we have the energy available to do all of these things, right? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to think about your energy, both physical and mental, just in terms of 100%. And what you're going to do is you're going to put in 100, and you're only going to put this in at the top. You'll see why in a second. So you have 100 energy points available. Out of those energy points, then you're going to go ahead and sit here and kind of estimate how much of your energy this is going to take. So doing dishes might take 20%. Bathing the dog might take 50, and just go down like that. Now that you have all that put in, you're going to calculate this side. And as you can see, you have 100 at the bottom, which is why you didn't want to put anything here, because you just want that full 100% to be available at the bottom. And then here you're going to calculate all these, and we already know it's going to come out to above 100, right? We have 215. So we have 115 more points than we have energy available, which means that some of this has to go. So that's where your priority and due date would come in. That's when you're going to sit here and you're going to say, okay, what are my priorities? When are these things due? And you're going to figure out which things can wait, and then you're going to defer them. So the thing that would probably be easiest to get rid of first would be washing the car. So, you know, maybe that's not much of a priority and it can wait. So I'm going to defer it. And I'm going to move that. And now I'm at 140, right? So could I study herbalism tomorrow? Sure. Or maybe I have a test and I can't. So now I have to figure out one of these other energy points. But then it makes it very, very easy when after you've finished putting all that together to figure out what needs to be deferred for tomorrow. What can I go ahead and just leave for a day where I have way more energy available than I do energy required? And this is just another way to kind of push you to actually think about where your energy is for the day so that you are not overextending yourself. And yeah, so if this helps you at all, if you find this to be helpful in any way, please make sure that you drop a comment. Or if you see a way that this could be improved and you think, you know, I really would love it if you added this, please, please, please let me know, and I will definitely test it out and let you know in a reply to your comment how that worked out. But otherwise, I hope this helped. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day. Drink plenty of water, and I will see you in the next video.